Hi, my name is Fabian Ronick with Reboot Self-Care Center, and I'd like to introduce you to the Epigenetic Hair Follicle testing. Each epigenetic test shows you what you're deficient in, what you have too much of in the body, and which system's affected. This helps us to see what kind of environmental influences are affecting you and the patient's health. And with that, we can create solutions that help to balance out those deficiencies and help remove those things that are too much in the body. And then every 90 days, we rescan so we can see the progress, but also make changes based on how your body's changing. So your environment is a big influence on the body, and this is a great way for us to see how it's being influenced and then how we can adjust it. So what the hair follicle analysis is a snapshot of what's in the bulb that we pull out from the head. The little follicle that we're pulling from the head has all of your cellular information inside of it, and the scanning equipment that we put the follicle onto it creates a frequency. We call it an S coil, which is known as a Tesla coil. It creates a frequency which reacts with the bulb, and it snapshots on a cellular level everything within the cell. And those are all your epigenetic influences that are happening around you that are affecting your cells. So as the coil creates a frequency, it reacts with the bulb, takes a snapshot, and then what we do is we send that all the way to Hamburg, Germany. And on that end, AI pulls apart, defragments all that information, and looks for specific indicators such as environmental toxins, deficiencies, minerals, vitamins, antioxidants, amino acids, and it looks for the levels of each of those. Once it finds that information, it sends it back to us on a secure server, and then you get a full report on that information and how those things are influencing your own epigenetics in your body. The reason we use the hair follicle is because it's a very strong marker and very durable. So we know if you were to pull a hair follicle out, put it in a kit, send it to us through the mail, it's very durable, and there's not a lot of environmental influences that are going to change the information within that bulb. Another thing is it's very non-invasive. Literally, you just need to pull hairs from the back of the head with a tweezer. And once you extract 4 hair follicles, that's what goes in the kit, gets sent back to us. And that's all we need to get all of that information that we mentioned earlier. There's no preconditioning needed, which is another very attractive part of the hair follicle analysis. You don't have to fast. You don't have to worry about if you ate food right before. We just need you to come in, and because it's a snapshot of the last 90 days, we can do the hair follicle test at any time. And it's an accumulative snapshot of your health. Versus certain things like blood work, you have to make sure you're fasted, which is very important because it's more of a snapshot of right then and what's in your blood. This is a look at all of your cells and what's within your cells. Here's how we're going to utilize the hair follicle kit that you're going to receive. As a provider, you'll have 6 at a time minimum that you get. They come with a return envelope that's already prepaid for, so keep that in mind. That way it's less work for you. All you have to do is put it right back in the mail and it comes to our center. So inside the kit, we have a few different things. First step is there's an instruction card. You want to look through the instruction card. If they don't have any hair on their head, you'll see an instruction to pull from the eyebrows. Otherwise, everybody's the same. You pull right from the back of the head. You want to grab and pull down to make an easy extraction of the hair follicle. Those hair follicles are going to be placed in the hair sample card. Right where it says, there's a little spot to put it. You have to make sure you have at least 4 or more of those hair follicles. And you can tell because it's a little white tip at the end of the hair follicle itself. On the hair sample card, make sure that you filled out everything, like the client's name, phone number, email address, and then if you can, or if you'd like, any of the symptoms they might be noticing. Once the hair follicles are placed, you want to fold it twice as it asks you to do on the hair sample card, and that keeps it from falling out of the hair sample card. And then you're going to place it into what we call a radiation proof pouch, because there's a lining on the inside of this which keeps any x-ray equipment that the postal system's using to make sure there's nothing bad in the actual envelope that's being sent. This goes back into the envelope you received originally. You seal it off so that way we know the sample hasn't been tampered with. It goes into the prepaid return envelope with USPS, and then that goes right into your general mailbox. And as soon as we receive it at our facility, the processing center, we pull it apart, take out those hair samples. It's handled in a specific way to make sure there's no cross-contamination. It goes on the scanning device, and then within 48 hours of us receiving the sample, you're gonna have the hair follicle report emailed to you, emailed to the client, and that's really up to your preference if you want it emailed to a client as well or only to your facility. So it's important to let us know when you get low on these kits, because you're gonna get anywhere from 6 or more at a time. When you're down to, let's say, 3 or 4 kits, make a reorder, because it takes time for us to mail you the kits and we wanna make sure you don't run out. So make sure you reorder your kits when you're down to maybe 3 or 4 kits left, and we'll get those mailed out to you with the return envelopes.